Working with text in Vectorworks just became much easier. In Vectorworks 2011, we vastly improved the text capabilities, from the way it's created to the way it's managed. It's not uncommon for users to create paragraphs of text in their Vectorworks drawings. Previously, in cases like this, the only options you had for horizontal alignment were left, right, and center. Now, for a more professional look, you can use the new Justify option for horizontal alignment. This will align the text in the paragraph to the left and right edges of the text box. We've also made it easier to create sub and superscript text. Prior to the release of 2011, this operation required two separate text boxes to achieve the effect. Now you can simply highlight the part of the text object you'd like to show as subscript, then check the subscript option in the Object Info palette. The same is true for the new superscript option. Now, if you look in the Object Info palette, there's also a new option for Tight Fill. This new option gives users the option to have the fill in the text box fill tightly around lines of text. The Tight Fill option will fill from the first letter in a line of text to the last letter in that same line, and blank lines will have no fill. There's also an option for Tight Fill in the toolbar when the text tool is active. This will apply the Tight Fill setting to any newly created text. Additionally, in Vectorworks 2011, rotating text objects is a much easier task. Before, you needed to manually input the rotation angle for text objects or activate the Rotate tool in the basic tool palette. Now you can simply select a text with the 2D selection tool and hold the Shift and Alt keys on Windows or the Shift and Option keys on a Mac. Now, if you move your cursor over any of the 8 selection handles, you can rotate the text object. If you select a midpoint, the text rotates about the opposite point. If you select a corner, the text rotates about the center of the text box. Even spell checking has been improved for 2011. Now when you're editing text, you can use the check spelling command. You can also highlight specific text to be spell checked instead of having to check the entire text box. Let's go back into the editing mode for this text to see another great text improvement, Perfect Preview Text Editing. When editing wrapped text in previous versions, sometimes text lines would move from their original position and remain that way even after exiting the text edit mode. Now, in 2011, with Perfect Preview Text Editing, the text is unchanged and displays exactly as it did when it was created. Even when working with rotated text, the preview box is rotated to the same angle. However, if you'd like to edit the text in a horizontal position, simply click the blue icon beside the preview box. This rotates the text to the horizontal position. The same applies when working in 3D with text on the layer plane. You can edit the text as is on the layer plane or rotate it to display horizontally on the screen plane. One more feature to point out about Perfect Preview editing, the tab stops are located directly above the text box instead of below the view bar. This should make formatting lines of text much easier. Last but not least, in Vectorworks 2011, you can now use text styles to manage the appearance of text throughout your document. This means you can quickly assign a common set of text attributes to multiple text objects in your drawing. These text styles can be applied to standalone text objects and text embedded within other Vectorworks objects, such as callouts, dimensions, worksheets, drawing borders, and other plugin objects. You can also apply text styles to certain portions of a text block. Text styles can be created from the resource browser by choosing Create New Resource and then select Text Style, or by using the Format Text command from the text menu. Either way, the new style will be displayed in the resource browser. Also, just like any other resource, text styles can be imported, exported, and copied among documents or added to the default content. This will be very useful for firms using a company-wide standard for their fonts. As you can see, we've greatly improved the text capabilities to allow you more flexibility. With these new features, creating, customizing, and managing text in Vectorworks has never been easier.